obviously winning another world championship would be amazing because on the day I would feel I've won our championship. But 4 from 5, would it really make a difference? The legacy I think of is not the achievement. If people can remember me as a respectful person towards myself, my opponent, the referees, and the crowd, then this is the best legacy you can leave. Obviously, it doesn't come without the achievements. People don't remember you without the achievements. But thankfully, I've done enough to be remembered in that regard. Now it's not now, like since the very beginning, it's about being a good person. And that legacy has been built already or never been built already. So nothing is going to add to it if I win 1 or 2 more world championships, I guess.
A fifth World Championship title would make you the most successful Egyptian male squash player of all time. You have a few to go to catch Nir El-Khabib.
And she's not done yet.
Now you said you've never really chased the record books and the kind of history hasn't really been a factor, but is there a part of you now that maybe thinks a little bit about the legacy and what you might be able to kind of put to your name?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, obviously winning another world championship would be amazing because on the day I would feel I've won our championship. But 4 from 5, would it really make a difference? Do you really think of your career, I've only won 4, I wish I had won 5? No. You know what I mean? When you're done, that's not going to be how it feels. And then the legacy you leave, obviously the achievements play a huge role. But is it purely the achievements? When you think of Shabana and Rami, do you think 3 world championships and 4 world championships? It's there is a feel about them. The grace they played the game, the respect that they had towards themselves and their opponents. And so the legacy I think of is not the achievement. If people can remember me as a respectful person towards myself, my opponent, the referees, and the crowd, then this is the best legacy you can leave. Obviously, it doesn't come without the achievements. People don't remember you without the achievements. But thankfully, I've done enough to be remembered in that regard. Now it's not now, like since the very beginning, it's about being a good person. And that legacy has been built already or never been built already. So nothing is going to add to it if I win 1 or 2 more world championships, I guess.
You're not necessarily one of the old guys on tour, but you're getting to a point where, mid-30s for most people in life, that's a time of change. Children, family, priorities change. Guess the legs do get a bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the 18-year-olds coming on tour challenging you. You're the old guard. What does life post squash look like for Ali Farag?
Great question. I think it's the $1 million question for any athlete, really, what they're going to do next in their lives. I've, again, as the theme of my life, I've been very lucky in that regard that my brother and my cousin are running the family business.
So just tell us a bit more about what.
Yeah, it's in the cattle farming business. We've got almost 7,000 cows now in our farm. There are 2 farms actually. And just we sell them to butchers or the grocery stores that they and then we have our own brand of beef now, and they're expanding it big time, and they're doing really, really well, and that I can always fall back on. I follow as much as I can, but then again, am I going to be in that specific business full time? Maybe. Am I going to be in a sports related business? Maybe. Is it pure squash? That I don't think so. As we kept on saying, growth is a very important aspect in my life, and learning new things, it's become more and more marginal the more you are into squash. So I want to, there is a sea of knowledge that I know nothing about in the other side of the world. So I want to do that. Maybe we are heading into the hospitality business as well. My parents used to live in a house, and now they've moved to another house, and we're trying to transform it into a Sonder-like business. If you know what Sonder is, it's like an Airbnb. You have the full building, and you divide into studios, and then you rent it out short term. So that we're getting into. Maybe I'll go full time into this. Again, it's a great problem to have, that I have opportunities to choose from. Does any of them feel like, oh, this is my end goal? Not yet. This is my calling after squash? Not yet. But certainly I have options, and then as I go into them, I'll feel this is what I want, this is not. And I'd like to think that I'm only 33, which is young in terms of business. So I've got the whole time in the world to try and find my calling post squash.
But you don't think we're going to see you on the courts coaching the next generation of Egyptian kids?
I don't mind it, but I won't be as committed. So if because as I said, I want to learn more elsewhere, and I want to give attention to my kids. I want to see my kids growing up. I want to give attention to my wife, who's been doing the hard job for both of us when I'm away. Now it's my turn to take some of the load from her. So I've got different priorities. If any of the professional players or the junior players want to get some sort of guidance from the limited time that I will have, the limited headspace that I will have, I'll be more than happy to do it. But to be a full-time coach, you never know. But I don't think that will be the case.
And I think you sort of said it earlier, but that decision's one you kind of take at the end of the season. You sit down and just a bit of quiet time and ask yourself, do I want to do another 12 months of this?
I have an idea. I have an idea where that's going to be, whether it's going to be tomorrow or in 10 years' time. I have an idea with the team around me. But it's never set in stone. Whenever I take, no matter how big the decision is, it's never 100%. If it's in the future, it's never 100%. If circumstances come and change things, then I will change my opinion. But it's good to have an idea. I have everything written down, why I want to play, why I want to look for the next chapter. And they're very silly pros and cons, believe it or not. Silly, but I wanted them to be honest. Like one of them, obviously squash is my identity. So how am I going to feel afterwards? As much as I keep saying in interviews, I don't want to define myself as a squash player. I want to define myself as Ali, just who also plays squash. It is a big part of your identity. This is going to be gone. The glory that you get from winning events, this is going to be gone, right? The fragile ego of ours that is fulfilled when someone comes and says, you play so well, you are so respectful on court. These things are going to be gone. These should never be, as they say, if you live for the cheers, you die by the booze. They should never be your kind of motivations. But we're fragile, all of us. Our egos are fragile, and they do, those things are going to be gone, right? But also, on the other hand, more time with the kids, less traveling, which is probably the same thing. But traveling is more than just time away from the kids. It's hectic. Yeah. It's less pressure. We live in a lot of pressure, such an intense life. It comes with pros and cons, right? So I write them down. What's next is a huge question. If things align at the same time when I want to retire, whether it be today or whether it be in 2-3 seasons time, whether it be after the Olympics, these things will take their natural course. And I used to be stressed about it when I first started the game, but now, because of the theme of my life being so lucky and things align themselves in the right time, in the right way, I guess I'm relaxed in that regard.